All right, welcome to Talkin' Investing. I'm Tom, and as always, this is not financial advice. Today, I want to go through Hut 8, stock ticker HUT. Hut is a Bitcoin mining company. We cover Bitcoin and Bitcoin miners quite a bit on this channel, so if that's content that you're interested in, or if you are new to the channel, please remember to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. Also, everybody, please smash the like button for us. It helps us out a lot. You'll see in our pinned comment below, we have a link to our free Discord. So we have over 500 people over there. We'd love to have you join us. I want to go through a few things with Hut 8. They put out their March operational and Bitcoin mining update. They also put out a new investor deck. So I want to go through some of the highlights of that kind of stuff, show you where these guys are at. Then we'll talk price and price targets and take a look at the chart and see what's going on. So Hut's trading at $4.42 today. It's early in the trading day on April 21st. That leaves them with a market cap of about $762 million. So I want to start out by just looking at that. I want to show you this chart, which is basically tracking their market cap over the last year since they moved over to the NASDAQ. It's been not quite a year. So you can see back on November 8th, Hut's market cap was about $2.33 billion. Now, that's when Bitcoin was trading at its all-time high. Bitcoin is off a little bit. However, Hut has grown as a company quite a bit, including opening some new lines of revenue. So their current market cap right now, 5 months later, at $760 million, is less than a third of what it was back on November 8th. So again, I show you this because a lot of times people look at stock price and they think, well, maybe it was stock dilution that is not having the price go up or that's making the price go down, but that is not the case. This company's lost about 67% of its market cap in the last 5 months, despite the fact that they have grown significantly. They've more than doubled their operations and entered into a very big new line of business that we'll talk about more when we look at the investor deck. So as you can imagine, it's my opinion that Hut 8 is very much oversold. Again, I have to remind you, this is not financial advice. I'm showing you guys the numbers. You guys got to do your due diligence and make your own purchasing decisions. All right, let's look at their monthly mining update. Hut 8 mining monthly production update for March of 2022. Most of the major Bitcoin miners are giving us a monthly update of what their mining operations were in the previous month and just giving us a general overview of what's going on with the company. So I'm going to go right to the highlights. Production highlights for March 2022. 345 Bitcoin were mined, resulting in an average production rate of 11.1 Bitcoin per day. Our Ethereum mining, for which we received payment in Bitcoin, so they're saying that generated approximately 13% of our total production at an average cost of $2,600, that's Canadian dollars, per Bitcoin. So you can see the Ethereum mining with payment in Bitcoin is incredibly cost effective. So for the time being, they're getting to capitalize on these 10,000 machines mining Ethereum, and it really is bringing down their cost of sales quite a bit. So that should help their financial statements. When we get the first quarter financial results, I think we'll see that in there, as well as some other new things. So I'm expecting a very exciting quarterly report. We're about a month away from that report coming out, so we'll have to wait and see, and I will definitely go through that one when it comes out. So total Bitcoin balance held in reserve is 6,460 as of March 31st, 2022. Installed operational capacity currently sits at 2.54 exahash. So they only had a small increase in their exahash in the month of March, but they did have a very nice increase in their Bitcoin mined over the previous month. If I look at the previous month operational update, you'll see here production highlights for February of 2022. They mined 289 Bitcoin. Now, a little bit of that is there's 3 less days in February, but if you look at the results, this is an average of 10.3 Bitcoin per day. So in February, they were at 10.3 Bitcoin per day. In March, they're now at 11.1 Bitcoin per day. So this is very good progress in the right direction. And all these months, I'm paying close attention to the next 2 years because we have a halving coming up in 2024. So all the Bitcoin that these companies can mine over the next 2 years, essentially they're getting a 50% discount compared to what's going to happen on a going forward basis. So the more they can mine, the better. As always, 100% of the self-mined Bitcoin for the month of March were deposited into custody, consistent with Hut 8's HODL strategy. Okay, they did have one other press release come out after this, so I want to go through that real quickly because it does add a little bit of exahash and it kind of shows you where their thought process is at. Hut 8's digital asset mining operations to be 100% self-mined. This is April 19th, so as of the day of filming this was 2 days ago. Hut 8 today announced that it has entered into an agreement with TAAL to conclude its hosting relationship and purchase the 960 microBT WhatsMiner M31S Plus effective May 1st, 2022. So that's effective in 12 days. The ASIC miners are currently installed and running at the company's mining facility in Medicine Hat on behalf of TAAL. So Hut 8 has done some hosting for other people. So what's happening here is they are buying these 960 machines. These machines are already up and running at Medicine Hat. On May 1st, in about a week and a half, all of those will convert over to Hut 8. So that will increase. You'll see the machines are expected to provide an immediate incremental hash rate of 81 petahash, bringing Hut 8's total hash rate to 2.62 exahash. So you can see Hut 8 continues to chip away in, I think, cost-effective ways to increase their hash rate, and we'll talk more about where their hash rate is going. All of the large Bitcoin miners have taken a little bit of a break from these flashy headlines of purchasing 10,000 machines or 20,000 machines, and I think a lot more of these purchases are happening on the spot market or in other creative ways like this in order to increase their exahash in a timely manner with the latest and greatest machines in a cost-effective way. I just want to look at a few pages of their new investor deck. This was put out on April 10th, 2022. So this is up to date, and there's a few important things in here I think we should go through. So this is Hut 8's digital asset mining business, and then they have a by the numbers section. So their numbers are, as we've talked about, 6,460 total self-mined Bitcoin held. 2.54 exahash in production. We know that's going to go up to 2.62 on May 1st. They then say they're projecting by the middle of quarter 2, and it's getting pretty close to that. So that means over the next 1 or 2 months, they're projecting 3.55 exahash of Bitcoin mining up and running. So that represents a pretty significant increase. That's an additional exahash over what they've already added. So they continue to grow at a very steady pace. They have 2,000 Bitcoin that are yielding income. One of the things Hut has tried to do is create sources of revenue to pay for operations so that they don't have to sell their Bitcoin and they don't have to further dilute their shareholders. So they are getting a yield on 2,000 of these 6,460 Bitcoin. And then in addition to that, we talked about they now have a data center. So I want to go to that page. This page is set up kind of the same way as the previous page we just looked at, only it's regarding the data center business. So Hut 8's new data center business, by the numbers, 5 multi-tier data centers, 400 plus commercial customers. So this puts them into a new realm. And some of these customers, I suspect, and I think have already become in some ways partners or collaborators, providing an opportunity for Hut 8 to dive into even other businesses. 30 plus experienced data center professionals with enterprise-grade data center expertise. So industry verticals, gaming, media and entertainment, and government. Typically, data centers are far less than 100% capacity. So what Hut 8 is able to do is any machine that's currently dormant, they can activate and mine with those machines. So this really does allow them to utilize these data centers to the maximum. They can get to very close to 100% utilization rate by taking the machines that are not currently being used for customers and mining with them. So it is a great fit for them, and you can see where they're getting a high level of efficiency out of this. I'm just going to show this last slide to kind of give you an overview of what's going on in this data center. So Hut 8's full stack high performance compute platforms as a service. So they talk about Tier 0 digital asset mining. So we know that's what they do. Tier 1 movie digital rendering and FX services. So these are services that they provide. Tier 2, enterprise managed services with multiple sites, data center storage, and backup storage. And then Tier 3, and this I know is where they're very interested, gaming, machine learning, AI, and enterprise services. So I believe they're going to be getting more and more into these types of services. And this gives them access to the already 400 existing customers, plus they've hired a sales staff to add new customers and potentially look at new lines of revenue. Okay, so the other thing that I will note is a significant part of this investor deck is dedicated to their data center service. I think they are trying to explain to people what they're doing here. I'm hoping to have Sue back on the show. She's an excellent communicator, and I'd like to have her explain this rather than me explain it, because I think she will do a better job. And I do think this is a big piece of their puzzle on a going forward basis. All right, having said that, let's take a look at their chart. Okay, so this is Hut 8's chart on the 1-day time frame. So each one of these candles represents 1 day. At the moment, Hut 8 is now up 0.46% on the day. They were up a bunch more than that. All of the Bitcoin miners have pulled back so far this morning. You'll see this blue line here at about $4.57. That was their January low. And that line of support goes all the way back to August of last year. So that held up again on February 24th when Bitcoin hit a bottom at 34,000, and it held up again on March 15th when Bitcoin had taken another dive. So this was holding very strong until recently. About 10 days ago, it broke through this line, and you can see, although the daily candles mostly are hitting this line, most of this activity is now below this line. So Hut 8 is struggling to hold this line of support. They need to reestablish this line of support right here in order for them to get back on track, because Bitcoin is, I believe, in the middle of a bull run. I'm expecting good things over the next 4 to 6 weeks for Bitcoin. So step one for Hut 8 is to get back over this line, to start opening and closing daily candles above this line of support at $4.57, and you can see they're currently trading at $4.37. Now, they were above this line just earlier this morning, about a half an hour ago, and now once again they're back down below it. So you can see this is a battle that goes on. So this is the step one. They need to win this battle. There really is no reason that I can tell as to why Hut 8's stock is down, other than all the Bitcoin miners have been lagging Bitcoin's activity substantially for the last 2 or 3 weeks. So I'm going to be putting out a series of videos talking about why that is. I do think that this will correct, and when it does, there should be a nice upside in the Bitcoin miners that are doing a good job. And for me, I believe Hut 8 is one of those Bitcoin miners. Okay, so let's talk some price targets. Okay, so in order to just retrace its steps over the last 3 weeks, so that would be a 53% increase in the price of their stock. This white line right here represents a line of support that basically held up all of the year 2021. It broke under this, and you can see it struggled to try to get back above this a couple of times on January 5th and then again on February 10th. So if Hut 8 were just to get back to where it was on February 10th, which was basically 2 months ago, that would be a 91% increase in the price of their stock. Now, this puts them nowhere near their all-time high. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit to put this in perspective. I'm only talking about Hut 8 getting back to this point right here. This company was over $16 in November. So I'm not looking at that as a price target right now, but I do look at this as a very reasonable price target. You guys got to do your own due diligence. These are my estimates. Please invest wisely. That's my update on Hut 8. So if you're still here, please remember to subscribe to the channel and smash the like button. So thanks so much for watching, and we will see you in the next video.